A Springfield man is dead after he was hit on his motorcycle last night. According to Springfield police, the crash occurred at Campbell Avenue and Buena Vista Street when the driver pulled into the path of a motorcyclist. 20-year-old Colin McIntyre was on that motorcycle and transported to an area hospital where he was pronounced dead. The 32-year-old driver of a Toyota Camry was arrested for driving while intoxicated, but formal charges have not yet been filed.